Um, I'm on some shit like, now I do what I want. Now I do what I want. Now I do what
Yo, YouTube, what it do? It's your boy MARTYMAR2K, aka Mr. iRobot, aka I let you grab my booty, haha, but not her patootie, can you dig it? I said, can you dig it, baby? Now, this video is going to be a little different, and probably a little bit longer because I'm going to be discussing my top 10 albums of the year, my top 10 hip-hop albums, as well as a few R&B and soul albums. So without further ado, I'm not gonna have you all waiting until the middle of the video or the end of the video to understand my top 10, because it's gonna be, I'm pretty sure we all have different, ways of evaluating our top 10 albums. The way I evaluate mine is the most replay value that it gets. Now, before I get into the albums that are in my top 10, let me just give the guys who would have made it. The guys who would have made it if they probably would have released their albums a little bit earlier. Even though a guy on here in my top 10, he released his album pretty much kind of late, but I've been playing it nonstop. That's the only reason why he made it to my top 10. But J. Cole's album, it just came out like last week or 2 weeks ago, but it made it to number 11. But I'm not just gonna throw that in the top 10. Even though I'm a huge J. Cole fan, I've been listening to him since Friday Night Lights and the warm up, the come up. Like, I've been listening to J. Cole since I was in high school, and I've been telling people J. Cole is gonna be that nigga. A lot of people ain't really believe in the kid, but it's cool. But I digress. J. Cole, he would have made it in my top 10 if this album would have released maybe early December, like the first week of December. Maybe the same day that Childish Gambino released this album. But anyways, with further ado, man, let me get into my top 10. Number 10, I have The Weeknd, Starboy. Number 9, I have Anderson .Paak, Malibu. Number 8, I have Denzel Curry, Imperial. Number 7, I have CJ FlyTrap. Number 6, I have Kendrick Lamar, Untitled, Unmastered. Number 5, I have Chance the Rapper, Coloring Book. Number 4, I have Childish Gambino, Awaken My Love. Number 3, I have Danny Brown, Atrocity Exhibition. Number 2, I have Isaiah Rashad, The Sun's Tirade. And number 1, none other than Schoolboy's Q, Blank Face album. So that is my top 10 albums of the year. So I want you all to tell me your top 10, because I know each and every one of us has different top 10s. Now, if you all want me to do mixtapes, I'll do mixtapes. But these are just albums that I've constantly been listening to day in, day out. Like, I just, it's in my favorites. It's something that's heavily in my rotation that I'm heavily listening to, because I might just I might make a playlist and put those albums in a playlist by itself, and I'll listen to it from start to finish. That's how my top 10 works. It's just the albums that have a lot of replay value that I'll listen to constantly, day in and day out, every single day, whether I'm at work, whether I'm on my way to school, whether I'm leaving a class, going to another class. In my headphones, I'm blasting this album. That's what my top 10 is. Now, let's get into, why J. Cole isn't here. You know what I'm saying? Look, man. J. Cole, look, I'm a J. Cole fan. But I'm not just going to put him up there just because, of his name. Just because, pretty much of the hype. I'm not going to do that because, I really didn't sit with this album yet. I really didn't really sit down and listen to this album I didn't really, I listened to it a little bit. I only listened to it like 2 times, 3 times. I haven't really sat down and really tried to dissect that album. And that's one reason why that it's number 11. And I just kind of wish it was, released a little bit earlier, maybe a month earlier, so I could sit down and dissect the album. Because I mean, see, his album came out December 9th, and it really wasn't that bad. But December 2nd, Childish Gambino album came out, and I was just blasting that for like, I was literally sitting with the album for like 2 weeks straight. I was just jamming it out. I was just jamming it out 2 weeks straight, just listening to that album alone. Now, why? I don't know. The album just really caught me. It was different. If you're getting into Childish Gambino, I wouldn't advise you to start off with that album. I would advise you to start off with 3000. What's the album? With because the internet. Because the internet, I would let you start. I would let you listen to that album first. But this album, Awaken My Love, is totally different. It's gonna be something that you're like, whoa, what is this? Like, the way it hits you, like, it's so soulful, so the funk, the way just it all connects, and it's crazy. But I was just sitting with that album for 2 weeks straight, non-stop, like playing that album for like 2 weeks straight. So by the time I tried listening to J. Cole, I was like, wait, hold up, who else came out with it? I was trying to just figure out, like, who else came out with an album that, yeah. And then I realized CJ, FlyTrap, CJ FlyTrap came out. So I was like, oh, holy crap, like, I gotta listen to this too. So that's why I only listened to J. Cole's album for like a little while. I listened to this for like half a week. I gave it a good couple listens. I'm probably gonna revisit it. Don't worry, I'm gonna revisit the album. And I mean, it's not a bad album at all. It's not a bad album. It's a good album. It's a decent, good album. But I'm gonna revisit the album. You know what I'm saying? But yo, see, when I started listening to CJ FlyTrap, I've been listening to that like after I started, I was like, you know what? Let me get off Childish Gambino and listen to something else. Now I've been listening to, and then I started listening to CJ Fly's album for the last remaining part of this month, and I was like, yo, this album right here is crazy. Like, if you all don't know who CJ Fly is, he's a part of a group called Pro Era. Pro Era, you know what I'm saying? RP Capital Steez, man. But Pro Era, yo, that's a pretty good crew with, Joey Badass, Nick Caution, Kirk Knight, producer, rapper, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're a good, solid group. And if you all have never listened to their mixtape that they released in like 2000, what was it, 12 or 13 or 4? I think it was 12. I think 2012 they released the what was the name? I forgot the mixtape. It was crap. No, it's like I was just listening to Like Water not too long ago when I was at work, but like yesterday. But Pro Era, they had a mixtape come out in 2012, I believe. Okay, it was called Peep the Apocalypse. Yeah, it was 2012. So if you all have never listened to that, I guarantee you, you'll enjoy that project. But I want you all to listen to that album, and then you try to CJ Fly. They all have a distinct voice to them, even though maybe to everybody else he might sound like Joey Badass, this, that, and the other. But anyways, I digress. CJ Fly's FlyTrap, I was listening to that like crazy, man. Anderson .Paak, all that. The reason why Schoolboy Q Blank Face is number one, because I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to put a tie between him and Isaiah Rashad and Danny Brown, because Danny Brown's album is freaking crazy, dog. It's crazy. I know a lot of people might really not like his voice and all that, but yo, his album is crazy. I was gonna put all of them at number one and then have others, you know what I'm saying? underneath them because yo, I was listening to those 3 albums all like as soon as they came out. That's all that was in my rotation. They were heavily rotated, especially Isaiah Rashad and Schoolboy Q. Kendrick Lamar, he could have been up a little bit higher, but I feel like Kendrick gonna have some fire next year. Hopefully him and J. Cole working on an album, man. Hopefully. You never know, but I believe they are. But anyways, man, this your boy MARTYMAR2K. Y'all let me know y'all top 10 album of the year. And I'm out this bad boy. Peace.